Now, the village of Tully is under a state of emergency, an order made by the mayor after the flooding in the village's wastewater treatment plant. That happened overnight after that intense rain fell for hours. The emergency declaration means the village mayor can access funds needed to address a problem or a disaster.
Our Abby Budicavoli continues our team coverage tonight.
It was late Tuesday night around 11 o'clock when the mayor of Tully and village officials were alerted by neighbors that water from this creek was rushing into the village's wastewater treatment plant. For several hours Tuesday night into the early morning hours Wednesday, fire and emergency crews worked to pump as much water out of the Tully wastewater treatment plant as possible to prevent pumps from being submerged. Help up to their knees in water.
I went into panic mode. The first thing I said was, do we have any residents at risk for flooding? We had a couple call and say their basements were flooding.
And while the Tully Fire Department responded to homes, many firefighters were also here. Neighboring departments came to help. Mayor Melissa Flint-Morgan recorded the scene as it was unfolding, even giving residents updates on Facebook.
I kept my camera rolling just to let everyone know that we were helping.
According to the National Weather Service, Tully received nearly 4 inches of rain Tuesday night. Flint-Morgan said that's what caused the creek to overflow.
This is a 100-year storm. We've never seen water like this before here in the village, not in anyone here who's alive's lifetime, and we're just hoping that, it's a fluke accident and that it, won't happen again. But we are planning on clearing out our creek and making sure that the water can flow a little easier.
Mayor Flint-Morgan tells me that neighbors here in Tully should still use water sparingly to reduce stress on this plant. Good news, the plant never lost function, and there is no risk of contamination to surrounding water. Not so good news, there's rain expected for tonight.
Matt, it was a mandate from the state yesterday requiring hospital workers to get vaccinated. Now, a mandate from Onondaga County pushing teachers to get vaccinated just a couple weeks before the start of the school year.
All in all, I think that the county has been walking the path to this.
A new executive order from Onondaga County will require all teachers to either show proof of vaccination or get tested weekly for COVID-19.
All of this is about the safety of the workforce. It's about the safety of the children that we serve and the communities that we live in.
President John Carilla of the North Syracuse Education Association says there are members who haven't got vaccinated either because they don't want to or can't. He's appreciative they'll still have an option to get tested instead of being mandated to get vaccinated.
To hear the news that they get to keep their job is huge.
As long as they continue to have the choice, they're okay with that.
Nicole Capsello is the president of the Syracuse Teachers Association. The Syracuse City School District implemented this policy last week.
And quite frankly, we have not had a negative response to it.
Oneida and Cortland counties are encouraging vaccinations, but not requiring them at this point.
At this time, I will not be making any mandates to schools about vaccinations.
Cortland County Chairperson Paul Hyder says their districts are following the state education department guidance, which encourages vaccinations. He says the frequent testing of unvaccinated people is something that can help the districts this year.
Well, I certainly encourage anybody in our community to get vaccinated, and getting tested every week, I guess, has a value.
The Syracuse and North Syracuse Union presidents say this countywide mandate will keep everyone safe as kids and staff move between districts.
I have a number of teachers that live in other districts, and we have teachers that live here that service other districts.
Carilla says the whole goal is to make sure that school districts have a solid workforce to withstand whatever comes their way this year. The Cayuga County chairperson says they have not made a decision on this yet, but will be looking at what surrounding counties are doing as they're so closely connected.
With the school year starting so soon, the potential for spreading COVID at the fair has some parents and experts concerned. As of now, masks are only required for people while they're inside buildings, with masking only recommended outdoors for those who are unvaccinated. The COVID vaccine has not yet been approved for those 12 and younger, leaving many school-aged children susceptible to the virus. Many are wondering if it's worth the risk of going to the fair at all.
Our Connor White's live tonight with the concerns experts have as the fair inches ever closer. Connor.
Matt and Megan, I'm in a parking lot that's going to look a lot different in just a few days. It's where all of the Central buses are going to be coming in, dropping off dozens of people who are then going to head round the corner and inside the fairgrounds. Now, your risk of actually bringing COVID home from the fair is going to depend on a number of different factors. The New York State Fair is just 2 days away.
If you do make the decision to go, then maximally protect yourself.
Dr. Stephen Thomas, the top infectious disease specialist at Upstate Hospital, says he's skipping the fair this year.
It's primarily because I have an unvaccinated person at home.
With a daughter too young for the vaccine, Dr. Thomas is avoiding the fairgrounds. He says whether you do the same is a personal choice based on how much you're willing to risk.
You're not just going to bring back the stuffed animal that you won into your house, right? You're going to, if you get infected, you'll be bringing that virus home with you.
He says there are a number of things to consider. The highly transmissible Delta variant is leading to a spike in cases. There have been 1,304 cases in Onondaga County so far in August, nearly 3 times the 465 cases recorded in the entire month of July. 47 people are hospitalized, up from 13 this time a month ago. And that's just Onondaga County, playing host to an event that typically welcomes thousands from all over the state and the country.
My hope is that we see no signals other than people enjoying themselves, at the fair. But I'm also, I'm also concerned because of what we've seen.
Dr. Thomas says there are also a number of factors at the fair that will help keep the virus at bay. Using national data, he believes it's likely at least half of fairgoers will be vaccinated. Plus, the fair is held almost entirely outdoors, which significantly reduces transmission.
If there is going to be a problem, and that problem is to surface in the first few days of the fair, we will know.
The Erie County Fair kicked off just about a week ago, and we're hearing from county health department officials out there that they have yet to link a COVID-19 outbreak to that fair. Still, Dr. Thomas says if you're not vaccinated, he recommends not coming to the fairgrounds this Friday.